Everyone, today we'll be solving word problems involving piecewise function. Number 1. A Zumba instructor charges according to the number of participants. If there are 15 participants or below, the instructor charges 500 pesos for each participant per month. If the number of participants are between 15 and 30, he charges 400 pesos for each participant per month. If there are 30 participants or more, he charges 350 pesos for each participant per month. Write the piecewise function that describes what the instructor charges. Let's break down the conditions given. First is the 500 pesos for each 15 participants or below per month. Second, 400 pesos for each participant between 15 and 30 per month. Last, 350 pesos for every 30 participants or above per month. Let C be the charge the Zumba instructor gives and P be the number of participants. So C of P is equal to 500 times P if P is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 15. And C of P is equal to 400 times P if P is greater than 15 but less than 30. C of P is equal to 350 times P if P is greater than or equal to 30. Number 2, you are a crew on a certain convenience store that pays an hourly wage of 45 pesos and 1.5 times the hourly wage for the extra hours if you work for more than 40 hours a week. Write a piecewise function that gives the weekly pay P in terms of the number of hours H you work. Let's break down the conditions given. First, the hourly wage is 45 pesos for 40 hours a week. Second, for every extra hours is 1.5 times the hourly wage of 45 pesos. Let P be the weekly pay and H be the number of hours you work. So P of H is equal to 45 times H if H is greater than 0 but less than or equal to 40. And P of H is equal to 45 times H plus 1.5 times H minus 40 if H is greater than or equal to 40. That's it for today. Thank you!
3. The function A described by this equation gives the area of an equilateral triangle with side S. We need to find the area when a side measures 8 inches and also when a side measures 6 inches. So all we need is to substitute the given. So the side is 8. 8 squared, square root of 3 over 4. So we got 64 square root of 3 over 4. So we just need to cancel it. And we can come up with the answer 16 square root of 3. And with the same one here, A of S is equal to S squared square root of 3 over 4. We substitute it, 6 squared square root of 3 over 4. We got 36 square root of 3 over 4. And we can cancel it and we can get the answer 9 square root of 3. 4. The number of diagonals D of a polygon of n side is given by this equation. How many sides does a polygon with 77 diagonals have? So in this case, we just need to substitute D, 77 to D. So we have this. And by the way, we already multiplied these two. So we can come up with this here. So we need to multiply both sides with 2 so that we can get rid of the denominator. Here's the answer. And we have to transpose this. N squared minus 3n minus 144 is equal to 0. And we need to simplify the polynomial. So here's our answer. And the next thing, we should get the solutions. So since there are no negative solution, 14 is the only accepted answer. So there are 14 sides if the polygon have 77 diagonals. And we can check here, the answer is correct. Number 5. 1/6 of a number is 3 less than 1/2 of the same number. What is the number? So based on the problem, we can come up with this equation. X over 6 is equal to x over 2 minus 3. So we need to multiply both sides with 6. So mawagtang ang denominator. And we can come up with this. X is equal to 3x minus 18. So we need to transpose 3x. So negative 3x plus x is equal to negative 18. And so negative 3x plus x is equal to negative 2. And is equal to negative 18. So we need to cancel this. We need to divide it by negative 2. So we can come up with the answer 9. And we can check it here. We can substitute. So 3 halves is equal to 3 halves.
For number 6, our given is the numerator is x since the denominator was not mentioned in the problem. Our numerator is x minus 2 since it is mentioned in the problem that our numerator is 2 less than the denominator. For our solution, we have to first arrange. So x minus 2 minus 1 since the problem mentioned that 1 is subtracted from the numerator, and then our denominator is x plus 1 since 1 is added to the denominator, and then equals 1 over 3. So we have to simplify. So x minus 2 minus 1 is x minus 3, and then so on. And then you multiply 3 times x minus 3. Since we cross multiply, we will get x minus 9 equals x plus 1. So in simplifying, we have to transpose the x and the 9, so we get 2x equals 10. Divide both sides by 2 in order to get x, so x equals 5. And then we have to substitute. X is our denominator, so x equals 5, and then our numerator is x minus 2, then we have to substitute. 5 minus 2 equals 3, and then our original fraction is 3 over 5. If we check, we can see that our solution is correct. For number 7, our first given is 5 and a half, which is R's R to paint the room, and then our second given is 7 and a half, which is brother's R to paint the room. So for our solution, we have to arrange 1 over t plus 1 over t equals 1 over x. So we have to substitute our values, which will become 1 over 5 and a half plus 1 over 7 and a half equals 1 over x. And then we simplify. We convert 5 and a half and then 7 and a half into a proper fraction. And then in order to divide fractions, we have to find its reciprocal. So 11 over 2 and then 15 over 2 will become 2 over 11 and 2 over 15. And then we calculate, we will get 2 over 11 plus 2 over 15 equals 1 over x. Then we have to find the LCD of 11, 15, and x. Their LCD will be 165x. So we have to multiply 165x into each values. So after simplifying and multiplying, we get 30x plus 22x equals 165. And then we have to combine like terms. Then we get 52x equals 165, divide both sides by 52, and then we get our x is 3.17 or 3 and 9 over 52. So our final answer will be, it will take 3.17 or 3 and 9 over 52 hours for the two brothers to paint the room.
For problem number 8, what is asked is how much time it would take for Mike to finish the painting job alone. Now for us to solve this problem, we're going to use quantity over time to determine how much work and time Mike and Miguel exerts to finish their painting job in 4 days. So as we can see here, one work, which is their painting job, is equal to 4 days. As for Mike, we put it here that one work over m, where m represents the time. As we can see, Mike can finish the job 3 times faster than Miguel. So we put 3m, 1 over 3m here. Adding it, because it is equivalent to finishing it in 4 days. We then find the least common denominator of both numbers, which is 3m equals 4 over 3m. Now to simplify it, we are going to cross multiply it. Now to find the value of m, we're going to divide both sides by 3. The value of m here, or the value of time that Mike takes to finish their painting job alone, is 16 over 3 or 5 and 1/3 days. Now problem number 9 asks for how fast Mr. Santos was traveling for his first trip. Now in order for us to find the solution to this problem, we're going to have to incorporate the formula for distance, which is speed times time. And here, we're going to substitute our value of time into 2 because 2 hours is the given value for our time. Now we're going to have to combine both trips together, the distance of the first trip, and we're going to find the distance of the first trip and the distance for the second trip. Now we're going to have to form this equation. Now this is for the first trip. 2 hours times the unknown speed. Now for the second trip, 2 times the speed minus 7 because Mr. Santos decreased his speed by 7 kilometers per hour during the second trip. If both are combined together, the complete distance will be 206 kilometers. Now we're going to use this equation to solve for our speed in our distance. So we're going to solve for this value first. 2 times s minus 7, it becomes 2s minus 14. We are going to transpose 14 and add these two values. Now in order for us to solve for speed, we're going to have to divide both sides by 4 in order to get rid of 4 and have our final answer, which is 55 kilometers per hour is the speed on the first trip. Now if you want to check it, substitute the value of s in our given equation below. Number 10, the last question. It is asked how many hours will they be 2,250 kilometers apart. We're going to incorporate the formula for distance in order to solve this problem. We have this value here, 300 times time and 400 times time. Now in order for us to solve for time, we're going to have to add both of these. 300t plus 400t, we get 700t equals 2,250. Now, in order to get the time, we're going to divide both sides by 750. We will get the answer. Time is equal to 3 hours, so that means both planes are 3 hours apart. If you want to check that, we just have to substitute the value of t into the number 3. As you can see, both numbers are equal.